So welcome to MY-T-BY-DESIGN Therapeutic Art Studio, where we imperfectly paint with purpose. And so today is really about self-expression, self-exploration, self-discovery. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to take you through a little journey here. It's a little exercise that you can do. And today we're going to focus on Fearless Fridays. But as we get started, one of the things that we do at MY-T-BY-DESIGN in all of our different workshops is that, we start out with you kind of asking yourself these questions. What's one thing that you love about yourself? And I know that can be a little bit scary and like, wait a minute, what? Or like it doesn't make sense. But the first part of going through this self-discovery process, even through this artistic expression, is understanding you. And what is it about you that makes you mighty? And so think about that. What do you love about yourself? The second thing is, how are you going to choose to be creative in this artistic experience on today? So just two little things as you get ready to start this process, so this journey of watercolor. So you're probably wondering, like, why are we even doing watercolor? Like, what's so special about watercolor paint? So a little bit of my backstory. Watercolor was actually my introduction into, painting. As you can say, it's for me, my parents, we couldn't afford kind of like the acrylic paints or the oils and those different things. Watercolor is kind of one of the cheapest products within the art family of different types of paints and tools available. And so being able to use watercolor, I discovered, one, it allowed me to be just as creative as possible. It allowed me to just let the paintbrush and the water of the paint through the water just flow. And so it also allowed me to kind of be really present in the moment and kind of let go of control. And I'm one of those who tries to control a lot around me in my ecosystem. So this particular process is one that I say is the art of allowing. So let's go into today, Fearless Friday, y'all. So say this aloud with me. And y'all got my paper here, because one of the things is, make sure you got your tool kits and everything set up, have those placed out on the table. So you got your art kits here that are provided by Crystal Bridges and Arkansas Soul. So thank you for getting those kits together for us. So make sure that you have that. If you don't have a kit, it's okay. It is all right. You can use other little mediums. If you got crayons, if you got colored pencils, if you just got a number 2 pencil, just going through this process hopefully will allow you to begin this this journey of just being fearless on today, okay? So Fearless Friday, say this aloud with me. I got my paper here. I am fearless. I am mighty. I am unique. I am me. Fearless Friday is all about us just kicking fear out of your mind, out of our minds, and allowing our artistic superpower, or I'll say your super genius, to step in. You are MY-T-BY-DESIGN, imperfectly painting with purpose, okay? So let's go through it. So for me on Fearless Friday, let's just see where I want to go with this. You can choose whatever it is that you want to do. It's not about your painting being like mine or anyone else's. If you're all together in a group, I hope that all of you guys in the group are walking away with different paintings, because everyone's story is different. And so I'm gonna do a little bit of a sunset scenery here, and maybe even have some water flowing from that area and some trees and stuff. So as you see right now, all I'm doing is just some little sketches, little sketches of how I want this to flow. And look, my next piece, I forgot to mention this earlier, but also make sure you have your paper plate and your paper towel to utilize. Choose your brush. Now, as you're choosing this brush, sometimes you're like, well, I don't know which one to choose. I don't know what to go with. Trust your instinct. You know, again, we're tapping into your super genius. And so it's about going through the process where, you know, right now, I'm not trying to breathe. You're probably, as you're watching, you're not trying to breathe. And so it's just effortless. So allow this process to just be effortless. I don't even know why, I just chose this one. And so as I'm going through this, I'm just thinking about, well, what colors do I want to use? And if I'm still like, I'm not sure, I'm gonna allow the color to choose me in this moment. And so what I'm seeing and feeling is a little bit of this yellow. So you dip your brush into the water and then you dip it into this color right here. Now, as you start on your blank canvas, for me, it's just about flow. As you see your brush start to get a little bit lighter and dry, that means that it's running out of water. Remember, it's watercolor. So dip your brush back into the water, and the water allows it to flow effortlessly across the area. If you want it to be a little bit darker, don't dip it back in, just dip it into your paint. And you can allow the colors to become darker onto the canvas. But if you can see here what I'm doing, it's just allowing it to just flow across, just through the power of water. In the moment that you're doing this, you know, think about how you feeling. Do a check-in or a body scan. Like, how's your body feeling in this moment? How's your mind feeling? Is it at peace? Or is it still kind of in this state of nervousness? Remember, you're in the no judgment zone. And in this space of no judgment zone, you're leaving the world outside and just allowing your heart to become free. Free in this moment. So as I'm painting this sky, just allowing it to just flow from my brush into my canvas. Again, just letting colors come as they please. I'm thinking about, what does this sunset represent for me? Like, what is your painting right now? What is it a representation of? Or how is this process for you allowing you to feel and to be? Sometimes when we choose to just let go and allow the brush to just flow in the process for us, it's amazing to see what comes out. For me, it's almost like mindfulness or like a form of meditation. Oftentimes, lately, I haven't been doing much of the painting. I've been doing more of facilitating these events and workshops. But I forget how it just, you know, this amazing power that allows you to just be free. And also, if you notice, I haven't even changed my brush yet. I'm still on the same one, because in this, it's not about a specific technique. It's more about you just stepping into freedom. Freedom of no judgment, freedom of just being, freedom of you allowing whatever feels comfortable or natural to you. doing this, you know, feel free, you know, to take a moment and do a check-in. A check-in either within yourself, a check-in with your peers who may be painting with you. But just, how is this feeling right now? And also, when was the last time you ever done anything like this? Or is this the first time? If you're doing this, parents, if you're doing this with your children right now, or just someone that you love, think about, you know, ask each other, ask yourselves, like, what are some things that, you know, that you have been fearful about, either currently or throughout life, that you've overcome, that you made it through? And then how did you make it through? What did you gain from that experience? What would you share with someone who may be going through right now? Because, I mean, we all know this, you know. Life has its challenges. But the beautiful thing about those challenges and those obstacles is that we have the opportunity and ability to overcome them. So right now my mind is telling me to change it up. So I'm gonna change up. Y'all, I'm literally just, right now just allowing the color to choose me, and it chose black. So let's see what happens here. So what I'm making here, shout out to Bob Ross. It's my little happy little trees. Little trees here, let's see. I enjoy trees. Trees teach me so much about life. You know, they start as this little seed in the ground, and it goes through so many different challenges. You know, it's going through this darkness, it has worms, it has all these things just coming at it and attacking it. But it keeps pushing through. And as it continues to push through, this little bitty seed becomes this amazing tree that bears fruit beyond measure. Fruit beyond measure. It gives so much. It overcomes so much. And trees are so unique and different, and they each have their own personal story about life. And they don't give up. So again, creating your tree is however you choose to do it. If you even put trees on there. This is me doing my tree. Just doing something a little different because I don't want them to be the same. So probably wondering, what fear am I pushing through on today? I'm pushing through painting in front of you. I'm pushing through the fact of no longer getting caught up in the cycle of judgment. I'm pushing through me being vulnerable. All in this moment. And I'm sitting here as I'm painting, and I'm discovering some things even about myself. As I said, I'm pushing through. So if you've ever been in one of my either workshops or classes, at moments I've had the tendency to see beyond the canvas. And even in this moment, I've been enlightened on my own painting. So as I spoke on pushing through, just to give y'all a little bit of snippet of it, and letting go of judgment, in that moment I was painting a brown tree out of all of these green ones. And so for me, just in that moment, it has allowed me to recognize that I have overcome. I have pushed through. I have kicked judgment in that moment in the butt. Because my tree is brown. And oftentimes, if we see a tree that's brown, it's probably shedding its leaves. And in part of the cycle or the process or life, if you pay attention to trees, through each season, they have to shed their leaves in order to bear fruit or to multiply or to grow or make an impact for the next season. So what I'm discovering is, for me in this moment, that I've shedded some leaves, that I'm in transition. I'm in a new season. Wow. And even in the process of me letting that go of the fear of judgment, the fear of being ridiculed or fear of not being good enough, releasing that out of me has opened the door for me to receive new things, new beginnings, new opportunities. So as you're going through your painting, think about, what is your painting saying to you right now? How is it speaking to you? Is there any revelation coming to mind or coming to the forefront? Is there any new ideas? I don't even know why I'm choosing black, but I'm gonna go with it. That's coming through. So now, I just feel led to create these little, what I consider mountains. And for me, these mountains is a representation of me overcoming. You know, MY-T has a story. And part of my story is overcoming. And I couldn't do it alone. Blessed to have people in my life and journey there to assist me and to help. And I'm thankful for it. And so you just, as you go through this process, you know, you just keep painting, and you just, until you feel as though the brush, or you have said, okay, that's enough. And then sometimes there may be moments where you may necessarily not finish it all in this moment, but you've done enough. It's okay. And you can come back later. Don't force it. Just allow. This is just a little example of what I did for me. I call it overflow. Of just allowing, trusting, being open to new beginnings, overcoming fears. And so I want to thank you for taking time to go through this journey. Like I said, this is just about, today is about Fearless Friday. But as you go through each day, you know, take a moment once you complete your painting. And on the back of it, self-reflect. So for me, I love to journal. I've been journaling ever since I was 15. But as you want to stay in this moment, or to come back and to remember this, because you never know what you do today may give you hope or life, or, you know, be a blessing to someone else tomorrow. So take a moment and just reflect. If it's reflecting what your painting is meaning, or if it's, you know, utilizing this reflection as a means to give hope to someone who may feel hopeless in this moment, do that, and then take this and pay it forward. But if anything, don't forget to smile. Thank you.